When you chatted with DJU, tell me what you learned and what do you think of the DJU fit at Florida State?
Yeah, it's funny. So I remember last year at the ACC championship game, both head coaches who did a lot in the transfer portal and are probably two of the best at approaching the transfer portal in the country, were asked like what their approach is, what their blueprint is for the portal, and they gave two very different answers. Jeff Brom talked about his dad coaching back in the day and said his dad's secret to winning football games was just have the best players. And he's like, when I look at the portal, I just go and say, who are the best players and let me try to get them. And God bless him, it worked pretty damn well last year. Mike Norvell is certainly not ignoring talent, but he is so detailed in making sure that it's the right guys who fit his program, personality wise, culture wise, all of that stuff. I remember talking to Derek Ray, who's like his general manager type there, and he said he was telling me a story about there was a recruit that they had, a transfer recruit that came onto campus and didn't open up a car door for his mother getting out to go visit, and Norvell was like, "Yeah, I don't know if this is the guy that we need." Like that's how detailed and all the little
That's
things that
right.
Norvell is looking for. And boy, oh boy, when you start thinking about it through that perspective, you understand why DJ was such a good fit there. Because for all of the criticisms of DJ, many of which are genuinely deserved, there is not a better high character guy to bring in than him. And then I talked to a few people who have been around Mike Norvell for a long time and know kind of what his offensive mindset is. And he said, look, to his credit, he really adjusted what he likes to do offensively or is most comfortable doing offensively to fit what Jordan Travis does, which is smart because Jordan Travis is a really damn good football player who does a lot of things really well. But Jordan Travis wasn't the stretch the field guy. And Mike Norvell wants to be a stretch the field offense. He wants to go over the top. That's another thing that DJ does
Yeah.
really, really well. So look, again, we can talk about this. We've all seen DJ for a long time now. He's, I don't think, ever going to become the quarterback that we thought maybe he would be in 2020. That's not necessarily a knock on him, but maybe a knock on our expectations. But I think he is a smart veteran guy that will really get the players around him to like him, that will be great in the locker room, and that can exploit the offensive firepower that they have in a good way.
Right.
And some of the limitations can be offset by having better talent, which, quite frankly, at Oregon State, he had a little bit better talent. At Clemson, his couple of years there, he really didn't have a whole lot to help offset the things that he doesn't do well.
Right.
So I think it can be a pretty good fit. Do I think he's Jordan Travis? No, it is a 180 from that. And to me, that's the biggest question is like, how does the whole thing evolve around DJU?
And I think that's a great point. It was probably a little silly for some of us, myself included, to sit here and say, oh, the fit, this and that, doesn't make sense. Well, we were trying to put him in the box of Jordan Travis. And what your great point there is, Coach Norvell created that box. And guess what? He's going to create another box for DJ. I mean, it's just that's how good of a play caller he is. That's how great of an offensive mind he is. And I like that. I mean, I do think back to those Memphis days where they're slinging that thing. I mean, they're launching the ball downfield. They're taking shots. They didn't have this super crazy dual threat quarterback like they did there at Florida State. So that's a great point. And I am going to be fascinated just to see what that looks like. How does it work? The offensive line, I think, is going to be pretty good. And how can those complementary pieces, take another step now that the Keons, the Johnnies are gone? And who's next up there?